Yes, hello. Actually, you know what? Um, Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to All Things Conversations. Anyway, yes, today I was actually planning on recording a testimony. Right, there is a testimony that I wanted to record regarding a little bit of what I went through in life. And lo and behold, there was a trend on Twitter regarding Beyonce and Church Girl, and it has similarities of what I wanted to speak about and want to warn. So I thought, let me start with that, and then I will speak about the testimony afterwards, because it is trending and it is something that we can have a conversation around. So, yeah. So right, a trend obviously about church girl. There's just this uproar around Beyonce and using church girl and the lyrics that are inside of that song. So what happened, right? For me, 2 weeks ago, I spoke about it, right? I used to be a diehard Beyonce fan, like most of the ladies, that just felt empowered. They just felt like, she's a girl that understands us. She's a girl that you go to when you want. And then for some reason, I think this Renaissance album it was just not one of those things that I looked forward to listening to, the way I would in previous years. So fine. I was like, okay, fine, let me just check the track listing, right? Track listing, what do I find? Church Girl, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, at least there's something about me. Well, I'll speak about my testimony, but now I'm like, okay, fine. Because I'm on this path of just being Christ-centered and on this path of just doing away with certain habits, certain things that got me to the spaces that I was in, of darkness and all that. Let me just see what your girl B has for us, church girls. Hi, Bo. I listened to the lyrics. I was like, what? Excuse me? Like previous Tato would not really be bothered because it's not like one of those things where I'm just like, into lyrics. I am into lyrics that much, especially because of we know the lyrics that bring certain agendas and certain spirits and invoke certain things in us, right? I also want to speak about that. But yeah, lyrical content of it, the title of the song and all of that, I was like, no, there's something up here. Ikonto off la. Ikonto off, there's an agenda that wants to be pushed, right? Anyway, I speak about it vele my WhatsApp, and I do a whole video about it where I'm just like, I'm so convicted. There's something in me that's just like, there's something not right with what she's doing, and the way in which she wants to glorify people that are church girls. And I said even on my WhatsApp that, you know what, we know what she means and we know what she's talking about, and we are trying to be ignorant in terms of saying, but no, she's actually saying what's been happening out there, where church girls are going to clubs the previous night and they're waking up and going to church, and she's just making it okay for them to understand that God doesn't judge them. And even on the song, she doesn't even say only God can judge me. She said only I can judge myself. Only I can judge me. And then I find out that she even sampled a song by one of the Clark sisters that speaks about being in the will of God. So being centered in the will of God. So for me, I was like, no man, this is not a coincidence. This is not one of those things where she was just sitting, or her team that's just like, you're speaking about church girls. Let us look for something that, no, guys. She is sampling something that is speaking about living a holy life, being in the will of God, and God always being in that straight and narrow path. And we know what straight and narrow path is. We're not talking about being perfect, but we're not talking about being perpetual sinners, perpetual sinners in terms of what she's talking about. Like, girl, don't worry about that. You're a church girl. You just wake up on a Sunday morning and just go to church. But right now, what we're going to do is drop it like a thotty. Right now, what we're going to do is give it to daddy. Right now, what we're going to do is open our legs, man, and spread it wide to whoever, because right now no one is gonna judge me but me, and I feel so free, and I feel so. And for me, it's like, why is it that when it comes to us black women, our level of empowerment, of freedom, has to do with us sharing ourselves with other people sexually, only for us to come back and be depressed, only for us to come back and have to deal with all these demons that we collect out there, you know? So for me, I was like, no, this is a conviction for me. I wanted to keep quiet about it. I spoke about it on my WhatsApp, and I was like, okay, fine. Maybe someone needed to hear that. And yes, I did receive good feedback around that, you know, when someone was like, yo, and as you speaking the truth, because now we are sitting here trying to get deliverance from all these soul ties. And whether you like to believe it or not, they do exist, guys. Whether you like to think, no, they only exist in this area or in this, they do exist. Once you conjoin, and women, we are incubators, so whatever is being thrown at us, we are going to bring it forth, we are going to produce, we are going to multiply it. The same way where a seed comes to us in form of a child, in form of a sperm, we are the ones that nurture, we are the ones that produce, right? So what makes you think if someone else comes with whatever spirit they come, we are not able to multiply? Can you see what I mean? That we want to be selective in how we incubate things, but the nature and the order and the design of us is that we receive and we multiply, we incubate, we multiply, we bring forth a product. You know what I mean? So that is what it is, and whether you like to hear it or not, that is what it is. So it is not good. It is not good for you to drop it like a thoughty. Yes, God understands that there is a life that you are living, but same as me, I'm just gonna speak for myself. I used to be that person that's just like, you know what, I'm gonna devote myself to Christ around the ages of 50 or something, when I know that, you know what, I'm gonna be bored and the only thing I need to do is go to church. But upon realizing that I actually literally sold myself so short to think that the only thing that salvation does to me is take me to heaven. What about the life that is fulfilling that I have to live here on earth? What about the life that is abundant? All the promises. We know Jeremiah 29 verse 11 so much, a lot of us. And those promises are not for us in heaven. Those promises are for us here on earth. But there's so many stumbling blocks, so many things that we get into because of just being like, it's not that deep. It's not that, you know? And people are like, no. So imagine if we had the same mentality with the keyboard players that we know, with, hey, those guys, when it comes to women, or when it comes to, you know, the typical, I forgot the word, but you know, like, we know how to, when we stereotype people and stereotype situations, you know, we know, would say, hey, in the church, when it comes to keyboard players, we know they do this, they do that, they do that. Imagine, if someone is a drug addict, imagine a song that comes out and says, no, God understands, right? That this is going to give you a high, and it's going to do this, and we understand that you are trying to be sober. We understand that you're trying to live a good life. But you know what? Just a line or two. A line or two, you know, and then you'll get your way, Mr. Asha, at church on Sunday. God understands. Look at it in that way, and just think about it in that way. Why would you want to glorify something that is a stumbling block in someone's life? And the same person that is talking about those things is the same person that is not even living an inch of what she's talking about or promoting, you know. And you know what? I didn't have a problem with Beyoncé. She's had so many songs that are sensual, and all of these other artists. But my thing was, okay, fine, you sampling that, and then using the title church girl. That is to say, now this is for these type of people. Now you are going into the churches, and you now want to select those people and want to take them out of trying. You know what I mean? It's not the same as, no, we in the streets, Vele, we are baddies, we are doing this, we're gonna sing our songs that can actually empower us to do more things, and suck more and do more, you know. But in this instance, she knew that her target is those people that are trying inside the churches, and church girls that are like, the fact that someone goes to church on Sunday lets me know that this is someone that is trying, right? Yes, they've got a life where they're just like, oh, I need to get my steam off and whatever. But when you are committed to waking up in the morning, going to listen to the word, having to fellowship with other people, there's something in you that drags you into letting you know that your spirit and your soul needs to be fed. And in the process of that, little by little, you will get away from sinful natures. Sinful natures, not sin, but sinful natures. You know, those things that you used to do that you thought were right, and you knew very well, but you know what? This is just flesh me, and this is just lust me. You know, I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, but you will get out of the lifestyle and into trying to live right, than having to be okay with the fact that you know, I'm authority. So when someone comes, someone as influential as Beyoncé, you guys know how influential she is. But when it comes to other topics, you want to negate the fact that she's so influential. I mean, I was even making an example, right, on my WhatsApp about Usiza. When I was a side chick, guys, I knew very well who to being a side chick is not right. I knew very well that I deserve better. What songs would I listen to? I would listen to the songs like Weekend from SZA to make me feel better, you know, because it now makes it feel like it's so good that she's gonna have him Monday to Thursday, and then Mina Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know I'm a weekend special. You know, it empowers you to do wrong, if I could put it that way. And you guys know which songs that you guys play when you feel a certain way, or when you want to feed into your lustful thoughts, or whether you want to feed into the wrong things that you want to do, but you just want to get away from, you just want something to validate what you're about to do. That is a sign that you know very well that this is wrong. I am very aware that it is wrong, but I need some validation. I need something that's going to pour into me. I mean, the very same way you would be if you're someone that is a side chick, you will find yourself associating with other side chicks. You know, you don't want to hear these marriage talks. You don't want to be around friends that are talking about commitment and how detrimental it is to be a home wrecker. You want to be associated. You want to look for content. Even on YouTube, you will Google or you will search for things that feeds into what you are doing currently, because you know your soul, your heart knows that, you know what, it's trying to rebel against what you are supposed to do, which is right. And you are finding all these other sources to actually give you food into actually validating and affirming the wrongdoing that you're about to do. So don't pretend like such songs will not give an indication. Yes, we know that throughout church history, there were, I was one of those church girls coming and to sing in the choir. Look, coming 3 o'clock in the morning, knowing very well that I have to be at church maybe at 8 or 9, and I'll just quickly take a bath and whatever, prepare myself, but the stench of alcohol will still be in me, and all of those things. We know those things. I've lived that. And there is no good result that comes out of that, because your life will just be in, out, light, dark, light, and so confusing. That's why you find yourself in a confusing state each and every time. Even when things happen, guys, you just wonder to yourself, okay, is it because of I'm not in the will of God? Is it because of I slept with this person and maybe this person is carrying this? Or is it because of when you minimize those, is it because of right now, when you are living in a place where you understand that, you know what, I'm in the will of God, right? I'm going to fall short. That's why I need his grace. I'm going to be tired. That's why I need his strength. But when you know, and God knows your heart, that, you know what, this is someone that is trying. They just have this thorn in their flesh, but they are trying. As opposed to someone that's just like, you know, I'm authority. You know I'm going to be random on a Saturday, so I'm not even going to try. And that is what I see Beyoncé promoting. So people that say, no, she's just exposing what happens at church, we know those things, but we are not going to glorify them, guys. Can we do better? And no, church girl, don't drop it like authority. No, church girl, don't give it to daddy. No, church girl, She's not around when you have to deal with all these things and baggages and all these men that you collect and these bodies that you collect, having to sit down with yourself and just wonder to yourself, why am I not commitment worthy? Why am I finding myself taking this person's number, doing what I was told to do? And I'm not saying that it is Beyonce's direct responsibility now when you have to now do things, but you know that there is an influence of what she says. So please, that is my ask, guys. Please be mindful of what passes through these gates. Please be mindful what passes through these gates, guys, because we might take it very light because the world tells us, no, it's not that deep. But when you are the one that is in church and having to speak to ladies, and have to pray with them, for example, for deliverance, and have to see, I mean, if you've been through something, that is experience enough for you to see that, okay, that young lady is actually going down that path, and to be in awareness and be actively involved in people's lives. You will see how less of, it's not that deep, you will think, because I think a lot of people speak such things because they are not actively involved in making people's lives better. I think they speak of such things. Oh, I don't know, I'm getting emotional, but they know that what they can only do is speak on the keyboard and just say, yeah, church people are hypocrites, church is this, church is that, but they don't really sit down with people that are experiencing such things, that are struggling to get out of certain relationships because of those strongholds, because of those soul ties, that are struggling to get out of certain lifestyles that they can see is chipping away from them like a python that is just surrounding them and just taking the life out of them. They don't sit with those people. That's why it's easy for them to tell them, no, just do what you want, because they don't sit with people that have done what they want and they have come back empty. And I just like, what is left in me is for me to just do away with my life. They don't get into those spaces. That's why they're not sensitive enough to understand certain things and certain movements and ways of doing things. So that's just me and how I feel about this. And I don't know why I feel so strongly about this. I don't know why I feel so strongly about this, but this is just an encouragement to women that are trying, that keep trying. There is nothing that is going to tell you, Guti, you just need to be 50-50, you'll be okay. 50-50 doesn't work for you. You are not born for 50-50. You are born to go all the way up. You are born to heal from those traumas. You are born to not look at men as these specimens just to be used, or your body to be just used just like that. There is no self-love. There's no self-love that says, I need to just be available for any guy to just dump. There's nothing like that, guys. The very same way in your home, in your house, the very way we know that this is a body, this is a house, we know very well. In your house, you will never just allow a random. Guys, you have security gates. You have all these cameras in your house because you know there are things that are special in your home. Take that as your body. Would you really, really allow anyone to be random and just break in, if I could put it? Some you just open for and just tell them, take whatever you want. Take these shoes from this closet. I mean, you build such beautiful things. The very same way our body is, guys. What is self-loving? What is empowering with people invading your house? What is empowering with you just going out there and giving away things and having nothing left? What is empowering about that? So I know that this message is not for everyone. This message is for the church girl that was stuck in watching the comments and being like, okay, fine, there's no reason for me to try because it's something that's been in the church. There's no reason for me to try and do better. Or, no, it's fine. Let me just be lukewarm. It's fine. Let me not be hot or cold. But guys, there's a time that is coming where you just need to choose. There is a time that is coming where you need to choose. It's okay, fine. This is what I'm serving and this is what I'm serving. And these are the consequences that come with what I'm serving. And stop being confused about the lives that people just want and feed for us to live. So I didn't want the direction of this video to go this way, but I guess it's just how I strongly I feel. I've never been that person that feels like this about songs, but I've just, even Namaj, I was just like, I'm just gonna sit down, I'm not gonna look at Twitter. But the way I keep looking at people and how they are referencing lets me know, Wuti, there's little to I'm not even gonna try and put it in ways that make people feel belittled, you know. But for a majority of how I see people speaking about this song, they're just like, no, it's something that's been happening in the church, she's just highlighting it. But you guys are not going deeper into it. You guys are not seeing what she's promoting. You guys are not seeing what is letting you be empowered by, you know. And I did say, which just next thing we'll be having TikToks of people being drunk and vomiting on the streets, or people that will be sleeping with guys will tell us the body counts, and then the next morning it will transition into praise and worship. And I feel like we're gonna go into that space just because of the promotion of that song. And there's nothing beautiful about it, guys. Think about not only what you are fed out there, think about what, when you sit down lonely, alone, what you have to feel, the different voices, the rejection that comes from your phones when you thought you were going to be authority. Because I mean, it's empowering for you to sleep with this person, take their number just in case. But when you sit at home, you know very well how you feel, how that makes you feel, that there's no one that comes at you and begs to be a part of your life, but it's just one of those thank you for last night. And when you want to exercise your empowerment, but you can't even exercise your empowerment because those people don't call you back, and you just sitting there wondering what's wrong, and then you want to blame the church. But you're not willing to evaluate, you're not willing to introspect on the things that you keep feeding yourselves that enable your behaviors and your tendencies. So guys, please beware. That's all I'm asking, is for us to be aware of the things and the trends. And for me, it tells me the way she's so loud about it is telling me that there's some sense of urgency when it comes to the daughters of Christ. That's how I feel. I feel there's this urgency because of the narrative that is being pushed, and the fact that she now wants to go inside and pull out the church girls lets me know that there is some sense of urgency. There is some Jezebels that are needed. It is a matter of urgency. And guys, ningavumi ngani. Ningavumi ngani. That's all I'm asking. Because the very same people that are speaking these things are the people that go back to their husbands, not even boyfriends of 3 months and then they dump them, and husbands committed, and their children. When you are there sitting down with the consequence of what you did last night, where you now have to go book yourself into abortion clinic. Guys, please beware. Please beware. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. My testimony is gonna come. I think I just need to process everything, and then my test, I'm gonna bring up the testimony. And it's something that I actually fought so hard to speak about, because there are attacks, I could put it that way, that come with you having to speak out and taking people out of the veil, for example, of darkness, you know, and delivering them through just your testimony, through just how you've lived and the consequences thereof, you know. So yeah, man, I fought hard, and I'm just thinking, you know what, right now it is what it is. If I perish, I perish. So I think, guys, please, that's all I'm asking, is for us to be aware. And I wanted so badly not to speak about this, but I think I have to. And I pray that one, even if it's one woman that gets touched by this, just finds deliverance. And if there's anyone that has any questions, I'm always available. I think I did drop my email on my bio somewhere, or my intro somewhere on YouTube, where I really am passionate about creating certain environments. I think the more you guys will know about me, the more you will understand where I come from, and you will understand the reasons why I'm passionate about conversations. I'm passionate about just bringing things to light, so that we are not people that are just surface level all the time and just think, no, man, relax, only to realize that the relaxing comes with so many things that we harbor inside of us that are actually barriers from us going forth in life and prospering and being healed. So yeah, that's about it, guys. I thought it was gonna be a 5-minute video, but anyway, yeah, stay blessed, guys. And yeah, listen to Twinkle Clock's song, the one that Beyonce sampled in the beginning, that I want to whatever, whatever. That is Twinkle Clock's song. And yeah, man, it's such a beautiful song. Such a beautiful song. So I think God, it works together for good. Whatever she was trying to pull, the agenda she is trying so hard to pull, and there is a reason why it's being talked about. There is a reason why there's such a division on Twitter around church girl. We've heard so many lyrics about busting it, about being authority and all that. But the fact that she said it, and she said it like that, is bringing attention to some things that we are not aware of, that we need to be enlightened about. So, but anyway, listen to Twinkle Clark's song, because that's what I'm saying, Guti. God turns it all around for good. There are people that are going to actually do the opposite of what she's saying, Beyonce saying on her video. They will listen to Twinkle Clark's song, and they will actually be in God's will and just be centered in his ways. Stay blessed, guys. Love you.